the 30-yard line. Wentz now on first down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Let's go.
Now it's the Boise State alum, jbatey75's. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. They'll run it now out of the gun. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. A give. This is Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Looking sideline, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Carlson able to put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Wentz. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop you, keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at second and goal. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty on another 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with a J. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Caught right side. It's Lewis. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Michael Bennett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
3rd and long for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Returnable here from the 38. Fancy footwork in midfield. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd and 4. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it, because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Zebra. Bingo. Lino. Yellow.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Yellow. It's in there. Yellow. Wide.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Lino. Yellow.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota.
Black. Here we go.
They start the drive with Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins now on second down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Vikings on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be third and forever. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly third and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A dump off to Sproles. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They go play action here on first down. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 46 yards. First down, here's Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't hit.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. The Eagles on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 46. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Cousins now. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's Matt Weil now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He's going to field this at the 4. Able to spin free. So we have reached. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Second down, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And down he'll go at the 25. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Cousins from the gun on third. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part.
Ojai hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And the penalty makes this a much more manageable third down, 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Sherrills to return it. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's brought down after a good game. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins now from the 50. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Corey Graham. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. So after After the INT, here's Wentz. And now here's another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Handoff comes to Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They run it again with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit.